Hey big friends, welcome back to Rod's World TV. If you've not done so, I need you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel because it's always going down. Today, I am back with another episode of my experience. And today I will be talking about my acting career. Lights, camera, action. Growing up, acting was one of my greatest hobbies, and everybody knew me as the drama king. In high school, I took drama classes, and I was always the star. I put that spotlight on me. When I reached university, I was like, you know what? I need to try and see how can I do this professionally and make some money and explore some opportunities. So I reached out to a friend, Sharice Brown, and she gave me some advice on how I should start my acting career. She sent me a link to Actra, and I'm actually going to show the website in this video so you can see the link, and it has a list of credible agencies that you can apply to. If an agency is asking you for money off the bat, do not trust that agency, and you should only use agencies listed on this list because they are approved, and if you get booked through them and if they are your representative, you can easily become a part of the union. And every actor's goal is to become a part of the union. I am still a non-union worker because I haven't been acting in a while. I decided to focus on my studies, but I'm back and ready to get into my acting. I'm ready to try and become a unionized worker, but I want to share some tips with you and some funny stories about auditioning and making sure that you're equipped and ready to take on the next journey with acting. So I'll never forget reaching out to the agency at the time, and I made sure there's 4 things you need to have. Number 1, I will always say just make sure that you have a good attitude and make sure that you're ready to go. Number 2, you need to make sure that you have your acting resume updated and ready to go with you. And you also need a demo reel. So it's just basically you compiling a lot of your different work together, and you kind of use that as your portfolio when you're sending it out to the agencies. You also need a headshot. That's right, you need a headshot, and I don't want to encourage you to go and get a professional headshot done at first. I would say you can use your own camera or your own phone in a nice, well-lit room. Make sure that you look good. So those are the main 3 things that you need to have. I said the attitude as number 4 because sometimes it's not going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to go to auditions, you're going to be nervous and you're not going to know what to do. But I want you to go in there with the right mind because you are a winner, and you have to realize that you're only competing against yourself. I ain't scared. When you see other people, you got to be like, okay, I see you, but I don't see you, because you have to be your biggest competitor. You got to push yourself to command a room whenever you walk inside of it. One thing I realized in my acting career is that people want people who are different. They don't want the cookie cutter type of person. Or you might be like, I want to do it, but I don't think I can. You can do it. Go out and get you an agent, and I definitely did that. I told you about the steps. Make sure that you have the 4 stuff and you go out there and apply it. I found an agency to work with, and they were on the list, and I was with them for a few years. So I want to tell you a few different funny stories that took place along the way. I'll never forget my first audition. It was for a Sunny D commercial, and as you can see by the photo here, I was in the Sunny D commercial. It never aired, but I still got paid for it. But the whole experience was a funny one. I'll never forget going to my first audition. I was so nervous. There were so many people. There was a line of people before me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is my first time. How am I gonna win this, or how am I gonna be able to compete against these people who've been acting all of these years? So I'll never forget, I went in the room, they asked you your name, you have to read your slate and say your name and your age. And I'll never forget, they asked me to faint. And I was like, what do you mean faint? They were like, we want you to fall out. And big friends, when I tell you, your friend was there flopping out. I was falling out, and I was falling out, and I was trying to fall out gracefully. I'm big, so a lot was going down at the time. So I was just like, oh my goodness, Sherrod, just do your best. And like I said, like, I didn't worry about the other people because I went in there with a room of people. So when they told me to fall out, I was trying to do the biggest fall. So it was a good experience. And in regard to that audition, I actually had to go for a second interview, or I would say a next audition. So sometimes auditioning, you might think you got the part after the first one, but sometimes they might call you back for a second audition, and things can change. But just make sure that you go, every time that you go, you deliver. Big friends, I've had times where I forgot lines. I'll never forget one time that I went for a voiceover, And I was prepared. I thought I was prepared. I was home practicing, and it was for some characters, and I was trying something with my voice, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna kill it. When I got in the studio, I put my mouth to that speaker or to that microphone, it was not coming out. When I put my mouth to that microphone, it was not coming out. I was like, oh my goodness. I was so embarrassed. And then I had to tell myself, Sherrod, you don't have nothing to lose. You're putting yourself out there. You're trying to do something new. You can't beat up yourself. So I want to encourage you, if you go and audition and things don't work out, do not be upset. Do not be angry. Continue to persevere. Continue to try and continue to push through, because your breakthrough is coming. If you believe in yourself and you trust God that it's going to open, the door is going to open for you, it will open up. So that audition, I definitely did not get it. I'll never forget the next time I went to audition and they wanted me to be like a bad boy. So I got like the parental advisory hat. I had my shades on. I went in there. I'm like, I'm ready for this. And with that one, I kind of realized that not every part is meant for you. So I want to encourage you that if you don't feel comfortable doing something, or you feel like you're too much out of character, and you do think that might not be the door for you, do not go through it. If you're questioning, if you're doubting it, I would say do not take it off the bat. Do not let money and everything always be the deciding figure, because at the same time, you still gonna have to live with yourself after the work is published. So make sure whatever you do, that you go to God and you make sure that it's in your brand as well, because we all have to make sure that we have content that reflects what we believe at the same times. Not saying that sometimes you're gonna have to bring yourself out of character to play a role, but that have to be up to you to make that decision whether you want to play that role or not. I'll never forget the funniest and the best story that has ever happened to me. I went for an audition and they basically asked me to model. So I was just walking up and down this hallway and I was just like, I wonder what I'm auditioning for. They said it was for a music video, but they didn't say who the artist was. They didn't give much details about what the project was about. So I was just like, you know what, Sherrod, just go. I went in there, and as you can see, I'm a bigger guy. So I went in there and I just walked down the runway. I was like, okay, let's get it, let's get it. I had my straight face on and I'm like, whatever this is, Sherrod, you're gonna land this. I told myself, you're gonna land it. And you would not believe, I showed up, I did land it. I landed the gig and I was like, okay, I wonder what this is about. I showed up to set. And they're like, oh, this is a music video with a featured artist. And I was like, I wonder who the artist is. And it was Drake and Future. And I'm like, what? I'm gonna be sitting at the table with Drake and Future? Like, my mind was blown because I was like, what? What is really about to happen? And as you can see, if you look below, you see my big face taking up the whole frame. I was in the Where You At music video a few years ago, and it was one of the greatest experiences, getting to see and being able to hear and speak with celebrities and to see how they never allowed anything to stop them and they got to their goal. So I want to tell you, sometimes you audition for stuff and you don't even know what can come from it, but make sure you put yourself out there and you try. Deliver every time that light is on you. Because I can tell you many times I was nervous and I forgot the lines. And when I tell you, I kept in character and kept on going and pushing. I might have not been saying what I was supposed to say or doing what I was supposed to do, but I'm like, Sherrod, you gotta get this. Stay in character because this is for you. If something is for you, nobody can stop you or nobody can block that blessing from coming to you. So I'm trying to encourage you, make sure you take your acting career or whatever it is, whether it's acting or you're in any type of arts, make sure that you put in that work. Make sure if you need classes to tune up and to fine tune your craft, you take it. There's nothing wrong with going to classes. There's nothing wrong with learning from other people to make sure that your product is the best product that you can push. I also want to tell people never to give up. Like I said, I've been on the bench for a hot minute when it comes to my acting career, but I'm ready to get back in the driving seat. I'm ready to get a new agency to represent me because it's time to grow and develop. We can't keep looking back at the past. We got to keep on moving forward. I had some great opportunities. I did a lot of different auditions. I landed quite a few in that time period, but it wasn't my time for my acting as yet. But the time is now. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you to make the time, make that commitment, because you have nothing to lose. You could be one step away from your breakthrough, but because you did not follow through, it did not come to pass. So I'm encouraging you to go after your dreams, chase them, never look back. Big friends, please don't forget to like, comment, share, because it's always going down.